Let's do this. Welcome back. Hey, how about welcome back, first of all, to the channel. Appreciate you. Let's do a Blazer update. Been just a minute. No video on this, but hey, all of the linkages are hooked up and working as they should. We got here, that's a trip hazard. OSHA, don't watch this video. We had the 3-speed mangled in there and it was lovely, but we got transfer case now. That linkage is in. Had to do a little bit of adapting and bending and building on that. And if you look way down in here, clutch is in and ready to rock. These ends on these rod ends for the clutching linkage will wear in, and so we actually had to clean them up, fill them with weld, regrind them to 3/8 diameter so there's no sloppiness in there. But all linkages are in. What's not in is this. Yeah, we were working around it for the longest time, and it must have had ram horn manifolds on it before, but we were looking, and these newfangled ones, I don't know where they're from, but they're like powder coated cast. The spacing between the collector bolts is bigger. It's a bigger opening and everything. The stock donut gasket will not fit. It just sinks up in there. So that means the first thing we were going to try to do was just run some straight pipes. All right, fine, let's get rid of the, this stuff is a little bit cobbled together. Actually, the front end is what's really cobbled. But we were going to run the straight pipes, but then we figured out that our flanges here won't bolt up. And oh, by the way, this is too small of a diameter. So at that point, I made the executive decision to chop, remove. It needs new anyway. So that's gone, and we're trying to get kind of the underbelly figured out and finished up. We've got body mounts. We took them all out of the package. Looks like everything's here. So that's next, but for right now, let's talk about the universe. Specifically, let's talk about the universal joints. This is the rear shaft. It was sitting in the back when we got the Blazer, and it's obviously been sitting for a very long time without the caps. Now there are caps back here, so he did provide the caps, but we're not going to use those. So those are going in the metal bin, and we got some new U-joints to put in. So Irish had these, pretty standard U-joint. However, I will say, when you get on the Irish website or you're standing there at the counter and they say, well, we have this kind or that kind, get your eyeballs on the screen and have them scroll until you see this name, Spicer. Dana Spicer drivetrain products. These are good U-joints. They're affordable. Now, they aren't super heavy-duty off-road, but they're better than some of the, overseas options. And I'm sure these are made overseas, too. Oh, no. Here you go. Made in the United States. So, there's multiple reasons to buy these. The first one is they're a better product. So, we got two. We're not going to do the front drive shaft. All the caps are still in. Everything looks pretty happy, but we're going to put front and rear U-joints on this back shaft, and we'll kind of walk you through how to do this here. just in case you was curious. Okay, so these have external snap rings. Sometimes they'll have snap rings in a groove between the ear of the drive shaft and the joint, and you have to tap those out with a punch. These just squeeze like this. Squeeze them, pull them out. There's one on each side. Might have to wiggle it around a little bit. So that's that. Next step involves a hammer. Spread your vise out to where it's just on the two other ears of the U-joint. Tap straight down. And when it gets close, you can simply pull the cap out. Now the other end, same scenario. Flip it over. Tap her out. Then you joint out. Now we'll clean this area in here up just a little bit with a rag. Make sure our ear doesn't have any cracks or anything. It's in good shape though. Don't be afraid to hit on these, but when you're hitting on them, hit here. Don't hit around here. If you smash this, you'll smash the groove where that snap ring lives, and he will not be happy with you or she at all. I'm gonna get some in your way, sorry. Yeah, that's a little better there. New U-joint, Spicer brand. It's got nice silicone seals on the for each cap. And these are serviceable, so you'll get a grease zerk with them. And then you should get new clips. We're going to remove two of the caps. And what we're going to do is we're going to come right here, come up into here with the U-joint, lift it up, and while you hold just light pressure on the joint, we're going to tap that cap in. We'll come back and finish seating that clip in a minute, and then we're just going to flip it straight over. A little bit of cleaning to do here. That's a chunky, dirty grease. Now you got to lift this up just enough. You want it to stay on the needles of that bottom cap, and then we're kind of hold it in the middle. Like that. Oops. Clip down. Get your clip seated. Use a small punch. So that one's all the way seated now. It's in the groove all the way around. Check operation, movement, life is good, everything's happy. We'll put our grease zerk in here. Is the final step. That should be a 1/4. I mean, that should be 5/16. I'll just tighten it down. There we go. 1 U-joint down. It really isn't too bad. Take your time, use your patience. Life will be very, very happy. All right, now here's something that's a little bit odd about this particular shaft. We're not going to take it apart and correct it because, as far as I know, it's working correct. It's working okay the way it is. But if you look down this way, you should be able to stand this guy straight up and then follow down the shaft, and that guy should be straight up as well. And we're not. We're like a tooth off in the slip yoke somewhere. He didn't complain about any vibration, so we're going to leave it like that. But ideally, usually if you can, it's square here, it's square down there. So that's just something to watch for in your stuff. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen one that wasn't quite right. Okay, other end. On this end, when you're beating on stuff, again, you have to avoid this. Hit right in here on this ear. Don't hit down there. This is that's a hollow tube. You'll bend it. And I can already tell you that you can see it. In fact, somebody has beat the heck out of this end. Great. This one doesn't look as bad. Yeah, we're going to be able to get this one, I think. There we go. Okay. Pull her over here into the vise. Oh yeah, this one needed change. It's getting a little dry and a little hard to turn. They can be a little stubborn. As long as you're careful where you're hitting, you'll be all right. You can beat on them pretty good. We'll give her just a spritz of the PB just to, as things progress, it'll help loosen up. It's coming. Enough. There's not enough. There we go. Grease doesn't look horrible in there. Alright, now we got to try and coax this other one out. And this time what we're going to do, since we can tell it's been beat on, we are going to set this here and let that U-joint be kind of loose there. And we're going to take our punch and we're going to hit this cap in a little bit. And hopefully, yeah, that loosened up. Yeah, the clip is even going to break on us, but that's okay. But that loosened up our clip now. We can get it out. And we'll little bit of that. Now, let's go over here. There we go. Not too shabby. Pull that U-joint out. Life is happy. One thing you have to do also with these, you can take the caps off, you kind of put them in there, just set them in there, and you can see where you're going to have the best access for your grease zerk. So that's going to be alright. If we put the U-joint in like that, we'll be able to grease it after it's all together. So that'll be just happy. So again, we're going to go like that. Drop him down in there. Bring our cap over. Hopefully this clip will go down in that groove nice, even though this has been beat on a little bit. Oh yeah, we're good. That was my one concern about this side. Oopsie. Dingus. Same story here. Get it so it's kind of hovering in between. Whoops. Fell off. Hang on. Fell off again. Hang on. Okay, now this one's tight. And you can see right here that spring is bowed out a little bit. That clip is. So what we can do now is we can go back, pull the vise back out, and now we'll just go tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. That gets us into, we're snug, but we're not too tight. These are ready to install. Now, down here, and this is just a kind of a helpful tip, since you're flipping this second U-joint around and messing with it and beating on the shaft and stuff like that, what you can do is temporarily just take your two captured U-joint caps and set them aside. So as this end of the shaft is bouncing around and getting, vibrations and whatever else, they don't just fall off and land on the floor. That one got dirty anyway. All right, this is ready to go in the Blazer. Yes. You want to watch that? All right, yeah, we'll watch that. We'll get you. I'll meet you I'll meet you down there. Alright, let's do this. We're short a couple lock washers for our U-bolts at the rear. So we got those out of the bolt bin. That bolt bin's been really handy. And, you know, the guy that, longtime friend of mine, made me a deal on it. He used to use it at his race car shop. And back in the good old days, and he made me a deal, and I really appreciate it. And oh, by the way, he's also a subscriber, which is also something I appreciate. And oh, by the way, he's a customer, which is like the trifecta. So, Craig, you're a solid friend. Appreciate you. See, so there's little tabs on here. You just slide her up in there, and then if you kind of spread eagle it, it'll sit. And then we're just gonna, I should have probably prepped these because I got them all ready and I put them together, and I should have left them apart. But straps, U-bolt straps like this, they're always stronger. I'm sorry, yeah, U-bolt straps. The little straps that just come across and bolt on and don't go through the yoke are not as strong. So the 4x4 guys, well, like me, appreciate this style. And then U-joints is just the one place where I don't care what tool you got. It's a manual labor type thing when it comes to tightening these. The only thing that fits is a 1/2-inch wrench. Tighten them, and these you want as tight as you can get, basically. This has been installed front and rear. You can't, the front one's down there. But yeah, we are moving forward. Thanks everyone for the subscribes and the likes and the comments and stuff. We love reading through the comments. Appreciate you. I'll see you on the next video.